I can't do it. We'll do it live.
Okay.
No. We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live. Fucking thing sucks. 5, 4, 3. That's tomorrow, and that is it for us today. I'm Bill O'Reilly. Thanks again for watching. We'll leave you with Sting and a cut off his new album. Take it away.
This is the Universal Wrestling Podcast. Inside the ring. Outside the ring. It's all here.
We're talking about the greatest sport of all, professional wrestling. Come on!
And now, here's Nick and Keith.
On the beast! Oh my God! Oh my God!
Yes, sir. Welcome back to the Universal Wrestling Podcast. This episode, no topics, no segments. We're just going to talk. If it's, the bridge collapse in Philadelphia, if it's, Punk you're going to bring up, if it's, look at it, the Bloodline Entertainment Network, then we're going to talk about it. What's up, Keith? How you doing, buddy?
What's going on, brother? I'm doing all right. How you doing?
Good,
fatherhood,
man. Good.
Settling into fatherhood.
Yeah, man. Yeah, like I said, today was my first day back, full day back at work, and it's just I don't know. It's hard to. It's not difficult, but it's just a different transition. I've never, I've been sick, and I went back to work, and I, went on vacation, and now I go back to work. But with the baby, it doesn't stop. Like the vacation, once you're off the plane, it's done. Once you get the medicines from the doc and you feel better, you're done. With the baby, it's all right. Well, this continues.
Gonna go to work. He's still gonna shit and cry.
Exactly. Yeah. How about you, buddy? What's good? Is the bridge interrupting your daily commute at all? I mean,
so
I guess you're still on paternity, but
yeah. I actually totally spaced on that. Was a thing that also happened this week. That shit was wild. It's not right now.
Would it?
But it will. Not for work so much, but so where it collapsed is right. It's before the exit before I usually get off 95 to go to my mom's. When I go up to visit her. And I've been trying to, since Marty came along, I've been trying to get up there at least once a week to see her because, whole family bullshit we ain't got to get into. But try to get up there at least once a week. Yeah. To, let her see him and stuff like that. So we're planning on going up on Tuesday. And I was saying to my wife, I'm like, babe, we're going to have to leave at whenever you want to get there, we got to add an hour because we're going to have to get off and it's
that bad.
We're going to get off basically. And you can't even get off in Bridesburg now because that one exit's closed there. It's the one before. I'm we're going to get off in Kensington. And then side street it up, try to avoid K&A, but we're gonna be all up in that to get up there.
Yeah. Yep.
So I mean, I know where I'm going from living up that way, but it's just it's such a pain in the dick. It's already a pain in the dick to drive all the way up there. It's even having 95 all the way. It's an hour at on a good day, 45 minutes minimum.
Yeah.
So yeah. It's nuts, man. I can't believe that shit happened. It's going to ruin a lot of shipping and other logistic
just everything
stuff. Yeah, it's going to be a nightmare for a while.
Did you see that one clip of that dude that just woke up and he got he went outside and there were reporters there and he was interviewed and he just was clueless. He was I woke up. It's funny. It's something you see from South Philadelphia, and it's I woke up, I got a lot of text messages and oh shit, this is going to be bad.
I didn't see that one. I did see one that came across my TikTok scrolling the one day where it was this dude that was just it's pretty tough for Philadelphia right now. I mean, the Sixers lost the championship.
Oh, that's the same
the
guy.
Eagles lost.
Yeah.
It was the same one.
Yeah.
The Eagles lost the Super Bowl, so Philly's just taking L's left and right here, man.
Yep. Funny.
That's
it's always something personal. It goes right to sports, that one dude with Aguilar.
Yeah.
It's dude.
Unlike Aguilar. Yeah, that was great.
The house was burning down. They threw babies. His first thought was Aguilar. Because
he didn't drop them.
That's us.
Aguilar does.
Yep. let's get to it. Let's promote, because that's
Yeah.
what we do best here on the UWPod, aka the Bloodline Entertainment Network. You can see it below, Keith. Twitter, Instagram, yes, bloodlinenetwork.com. That's where you can go and find plenty of great content. It's not just video, it's not just audio. We have written content too. A lot of really cool things happening. Again, entertainment, yes, sports, yes, wrestling. Obviously, you see us here. Tune in, subscribe, enjoy the content, because we're family. You know, like at the end of the day, that's all. Whoa, Keith,
that
is
was me.
Keith.
Yo, I don't know how I did that. Fix me.
Oh, baby.
Jesus, there was a hair on my screen, and holy hell.
Yeah.
I had that power.
Yeah. So go check us out. And obviously tonight at 9:00, WrestleBread. JD is back. Make sure you tune in. And then we got content all weekend. We got Kicking It with the Bloodline with TK. A bunch of friends are going to come on. The Bloodline crew as well. And then obviously we can't forget to promote us, UWPod, on Twitter, UW Podcast on Insta, and then UWPod.com. And then obviously we got to promote these guys, the Broadcast Podcast. Tom, thanks for tuning in. Yeah, you get the best watch along.
It's a midday tune in for our boy
that Tom and Alan have. Just so much fun. They just did a watch along. Cody Rhodes, Seth Rollins, and Hell in a Cell. I don't need to tell you the year, the month, the day. You know,
Lord,
about that was really entertaining. So make sure you tune in for that. But today's episode, Keith, is just shooting the shit. I mean, we got topics. I mean, I don't want to say topics, but we have things to talk about. So let's get to it. Out of nowhere. Jeez.
Yeah.
Well, let's bring it up, buddy. You want to bring up the first topic? I guess it's not a topic, but
yeah, I mean,
what do you got?
I'm gonna start with the last one that I had kind of texted you about, just to get it out of the way. I don't know how anybody. Hey, thank God our fact checkers here. The show can start now.
Yes.
All right. So yeah, I mean, I don't know how anybody else is gonna feel about any of this. By all means, start getting it going in the chat if you guys disagree, agree, whatever. I'm just gonna say it. I'm pretty fucking tired of CM Punk.
Yeah.
That's just the thing I've been feeling.
Now, are you tired because he's just mentioned every day, and it's just since he left, it's like,
it's
what are we doing? Where's Punk? And then
it's all of it. It's all of it, you know?
Are you tired of Punk, like Phil himself, the person, or is it just everything just combined?
Yeah, I think it's just kind of all of it. Like, you know, it was. And this is like a whole like new thing, because like I was, you know, you can find it on the UWPod, my little bloggy that I used to write on all the time, or more often than I do now.
Yeah.
I put it, one of the last things I published on there was about like Punk's first year back in review, and like I was all about it. I still have the Rampage, the first dance, saved on my DVR. However long ago that was. It's pointless because whenever I move, it's gonna disappear anyway. But like, you know, it's there. That pop, that crowd, it was amazing. I was so
something
stoked that
we'll
he was
never
back.
see. Yeah.
So stoked that he was back. And now I'm just like, I'm tired of it being an all everything. Like I'm tired of waking up in the morning and opening up my YouTube to try to like find whatever like wrestling news I'll try to watch. And there's always some fucking CM Punk thumbnail or headline or both or whatever. So I'm overhearing about all that. Like, you know, and even, you know, I'm no like shining knight in shining armor for like the dirt sheets and stuff like that. But like the whole like black screen, like Instagram thing he did toward Brian Alvarez, and like, even when I'm not around, no one can stop talking at me. Like, dude, like that comment alone was like I think what really like shot it all down for me, where I was just like, it was all of this like beforehand, and before he came back, and when he was in WWE, the voice of the voiceless, and like all that was like, and like now it's like, okay, dude, you're 45, 43, 40 something. Justin will help me out with his actual age, but like, grow up, bro. Grow up. You're not like a teen or a 20 something in Ring of Honor anymore. Like,
but do you think that's the reason why people want to see him back, just because of his, you know, the gossip, the fiasco, the what is Punk, like the I guess curious. People are curious to see what will happen.
Which, and I mean, I get that, and I guess I am. And there's been all this stuff, speaking of the dirt sheets, there's been all this stuff popping off today that he did some interview with ESPN,
Yep.
7. Yeah, he did some interview with like ESPN.
Yes. We got to get
Thank
you on, Justin.
For real. Yeah, he did some interview with ESPN, but like he signed like some agreement with AEW saying
Tribal
like
Chiefs on your side, buddy.
Right on, man. It's a shame because like, you know,
what
you rewind like 10, 12 years ago and it would just been like, you know, and here we are now. And I'm just like, I don't care, man.
Well,
like
the crazy
grow the hell up. Just grow up, bro.
Yeah. The crazy thing to me is the biggest pop, and I mean, take it for what it was. It's up there. I don't want to say it's up there with Stone Cold and the Alliance, but
thank you, Justin.
That pop was something you'll never see again. And I guess it's just because of the anticipation. But now, I mean, you're right. It's just like, what is AEW like without Punk? And what is Punk without AEW? I think it's just the same thing. I don't think they need each other. And of course, you're going to sell the tickets for Collision. I don't know. Right. I don't read the reports. I try to stay out of that. Yeah, I don't know what they're doing, if they're selling well. Right. I don't listen to Meltzer, so I don't know if you know what the merch sales are. I just again, if you are TNT, I think you look at Punk, and I think that's why, Keith. I think that's the only reason why they need to sell this, because Rampage is not doing well. Right. And it's on their network, you know? I mean, this is the network that has Shaq and Charles Barkley. I mean, that legitimate of a show. It's funny, but they've won Emmys. I mean, absolutely. It's a network, TNT, you know? Like, that's something that you look at and go, okay, that has had a storied history. And then, you know, what do? You go back to what you do, you rewrite history. It's WCW, and we'll see what happens there. But yeah, I mean, it is, I don't think we'll ever see something like this again, just because there's no one similar. I mean, maybe Ryback, but Ryback is a total douchebag. At least we can
go into that topic later.
At least I can invite
Jesus. That fucking guy.
At least I can invite Punk over and have a decent conversation. With Ryback, that's different.
For sure. And I mean, you know, don't get me wrong. Like, I get all that. And like, the networks need what they need and stuff. And I guess AEW does too. But like, I don't know. Cause I mean, I guess it's hypocritical to say, because like the Elite came back and like, no one really said any like bad.
Well, that's another thing too.
But like, just all of that kind of nonsense. Like, it's a bad look. Cause even, I mean, I get it. They're back. People still love them and everything, you know, all that. And I understand all of that. And you got to, you know, he sells tickets and everything. Even that, though, I know you were saying, I don't really listen to like Meltzer regularly or anything, but like I get the tidbits and stuff here and there just scrolling through Twitter and stuff. And like, I think they said like, even after they announced Punk being on it, like it still didn't really crazily increase any of the Collision sales. Like, I think it might have for Chicago, because it's friggin' Chicago. CM Punk could announce that he's just going to a basketball game and it'll increase ticket sales. People can go and see him there. Like, that's how it goes, because he's from Chicago, which I get. I mean, if or when AEW comes back again, if Utah's in the main event, hell yeah, I'm going to buy a ticket more regular. I'm more apt to buy a ticket to see Utes in there.
Exactly.
Really, I get that. But it's just like, I don't know. I understand all of like the like political, I guess, reasons for him and like everything. Why
they would do that.
But just like from my own end of stuff, man, like I'm just like,
you're over
I think really what it is, like I said, I think what really just like stuck with me with it was like his little Instagram thing, like calling out Alvarez, which again, I'm not defending Alvarez. You're damn right. Timmy's here. Hell yeah. I know Timmy would.
Shy down, boy.
I'd pay an OnlyFans for it possibly too. But
this is what you get, Timmy.
Look at the eyes of Randy Orton is going to the plate.
There we go. Out of nowhere. No topics, no boundaries. Nothing will do. But yeah, I'm with you. I mean, were you going to finish your thought? I'm sorry.
Yeah, like it's just that. It was like that thing toward Alvarez of just like, even when I'm not around, no one can like stop talking about me. It's like, all right, you're just like, shut up, man. Like, we're all talking about you because there was all this controversy around it. Like, you know, Bischoff was the one that was like, controversy creates cash. Like, cool. WCW was founded on controversy and everything. And look where the hell they are now. They started out really well with everything. And then Russo got to make all the controversy and swerves, bro, that he wanted. And now they're gone. And I'm not trying to say not saying that AEW's going the same route, but I'm just like, exactly. In the interview tomorrow, everyone's talking about that now. Like, that's another one. That was another. I think that was really like what set it off when I texted you about it today to be like, hey, we should talk about this. Because I'm just like, cool. He's got another friggin' interview, another thing to just be on headlines for the next 2 weeks while every friggin' wrestling news aggregate and dirt sheet person is just like, Punk said, because you don't. I'm like, there's like thousands of other wrestlers. There's hundreds. I'll put it as hundreds within the two main companies alone. There's hundreds of other wrestlers that I want to hear more stuff about. Where's Andre Chase? How come no one's concerned about that? Where's my NXT lovers? Where the hell has Andre Chase been? Chase U is being run by Duke Hudson right now. I don't know if I trust him. Where the hell is Andre Chase? CM Punk can sit down. Where the hell is Andre Chase?
Yeah, that's a good point. I want to say something before we. No. Take this episode a little serious for a second.
Yes.
Circle of Debate Ivan was in a little bit of an accident. We don't have to go into the details, but he is doing well. He is thriving. Man. He is back, and he's better than ever. We love you, buddy. Get well soon. We know you're doing well, but it's really nice. It was nice to see him last weekend with the crew on Circle of Debate.
Hell yeah.
This man won't stop. This man won't get denied. This man is one of the best people I've ever met.
Elite.
Virtually. I've never met him in person yet, but when I do, this one's for you, buddy. So yeah, and I think you bring up a good point too. We'll see what happens. At the end of the day, it's a business decision where it's like, well, yeah, it's a good business decision because of the name and because of people, other than us two, that really want to see this. And also it's like, well, what Bischoff says, what is this? Why do you do this? Does it make any sense to bring him back? I mean, if the reports are true, he's a screwed up kind of dude. He's not the nicest guy. And I think we know that, we don't know him personally, but we know.
And I'll be, listen, like
it
one
is
of
what
the
it is.
last thing I'll say, and I'm not going to go all crazy off on it, but like, there you go. I know where Andre Chase he got injured, but that's what I'm more interested in though, Justin. I want him back. I don't need to know about CM Punk's breakfast today, And I'll be the first one to say, like, fast forward 2 weeks from now, I might be waving a different flag and beating a different drum.
No, you're not.
And being like, thank God, dude, I'm so glad.
I know you.
You do, and everybody probably does, and it's not likely. But who knows? You know what I mean? Stranger things fucking happen in the world. I never thought I'd have a son, and here he is sitting downstairs.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So, like, stranger things happen in the world. So, like, who the hell knows what it's going to be in a week, 2 weeks, a month, a year even, whatever. And I might be doing my whole tone might have changed. Whoever is watching might have clipped this and been like, remember when you did.
Yeah.
And I get canceled or something, and that's fine. And I'll take that when or if that happens. But, like, as of 8:20 p.m. Eastern time on June 15th, 2023, Punk can go below as far as I'm concerned. I'm just over it. I'm over hearing about him. I'm over.
Yeah.
I almost want to like use his line where it's just like, I'm tired of this mantra that you're the best because you're not.
I'm the best.
Shit.
I'm the best on this.
KO is the best. Sami Zayn is the best. Like,
there you go.
I don't know. They're the first two that popped in my head because they're my boys. But
yeah.
I'm just...
Yeah, you're over it. And I think a lot of people are too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, let's get to the next topic. Well, there's no topics here, but let's just shoot the shit. Jesus! Turn down for what? Yeah, buddy. So you brought up NXT, and I really want to talk about Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker, because is that going to happen? Was that announced? I didn't watch Tuesday night.
Breaker is, yes. Seth is coming to NXT this Tuesday. It's part of Michael said it was part of a 2-week gold rush. It's Rollins. No, Rollins is.
There he is.
The week after.
What's up, Cook? My man.
What's up, brother?
Chi-Town.
See? Chi-Town's even saying it, though. Punk was great, but he's so damn toxic. Exactly.
He is toxic. Exactly.
So, it's. This week is Ilya and Corbin, and the winner takes Carmelo Hayes on the next week, I think. Justin will correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's the week after. And then that week after anyway, Seth is coming to NXT to take on Braun.
Yeah, I see it here.
Oh, shit.
WWE NXT results, June 13,
Thanks,
2023.
Gage.
Seth frickin' Rollins agrees to defend the World Heavyweight title against Braun Breaker at NXT Gold Rush. Keith, isn't it cool to say the World Heavyweight title? Right?
It is. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool having it back.
I want to talk about Seth Rollins. I mean, yeah, we can go back and forth with, when Vince was in charge. Yeah, he was, still there. You saw him every week. It didn't matter. Maybe it wasn't the main event, but he had a spot. Now that Trips, again, we don't know, but now that he has more control, it seems like he's getting his justice. And I think that's really cool just because, he lost to Cody 3 times and, some of the matches he had in the past, maybe we don't agree with, but Trips is in charge, and it just seems like Rollins is now in the right place. And I think the WWE is in the right place because when you have Roman and Seth as your title holders, your 2 main title holders, it's just, I don't want to say something special, but it's really cool because you want to see this, you want more out of this. As much as Bobby Lashley was a cool champion, I wanted it. I really did during the pandemic, and we got it, but it was just like blah, and then the Miz it was really cool, but it was blah. And then we have this long reign, and Trips is just, taking over. And as much as, it may not make sense right now with what he's doing with the titles, I think it's going to align to where it's like, oh shit, okay, he knows what he's doing. And that's the same thing with Seth Rollins' career. It's like, all right, he's doing this, he's doing that. He loses 3 times. He's taking, the foot on the chin, so to say. He's going down to NXT. He's going to work with Braun Breaker. I mean, this is what you want out of a champion. I love Roman, and I'm not going to say a bad thing about him, but this is what you want out of a champion. You want him to show up every night. You want Seth to, help out like Dolph did, like Ali's doing, like Corbin's doing, like the Los Guerreros, whatever they're Garza and
Los
Humberto.
Lotharios.
Yes, that's it. You want that. And again, I'm not going to talk bad because Roman is doing what he needs to do. And it's perfect.
Devin will kill you if you do.
Yeah, and that too. But he's doing what he needs to do, and he's taking breaks when it's necessary, and he's prolonging this reign, and that's what you need to do. And again, I love it. I love everything about his reign. But Seth Rollins, just talk to me. I mean, this is something cool. Like we're not going to see this in a long time. We're not going to see this transition, I guess, right, Keith? I mean, it's these titles and it's a little funky, but at the head of the table, yes, there's Roman, but now there's Seth. And I think this is what we need. Yeah. Let's hear it. What do you got? Any thoughts?
No, I mean, for sure. Like Rollins is totally and has been Hunter's boy for forever. He was the first NXT champion, like crown inaugural when Hunter was running it all down there. So it only makes sense for him to do it now. And he's been, well, hold on to that thought, Justin. We'll get there. And the other ones I'm going to touch on that you had said as well. But he's, Rollins is Paul's boy through and through. And I think it's cool now that like he is getting like the recognition that he had. Cause like it's tough. Cause like he had the recognition to some extent too, like during the main really shitty part of like the Vince time toward the end there with the authority and all the nonsense. And, but even when all that shit was going on, like he was the highlight of that, him being like that. He's such a good heel. That's why, like, I'm glad. I feel like I don't know if anyone else agrees with me. I feel like right now he's in a great spot where like he's over and people cheer him and sing his song and stuff like a babyface, but like he's still a heel.
Yeah.
He still leans more heel and he's got to stay that way. Like full on pure babyface Rollins, like doesn't work for me or them ever. It never has. They turn him back so fast because the crowd is just kind of like, like everyone was all for it when he was like the Beast Slayer. And then he won it, and then they're just like, all right, now you won it. Sit down. We're done now for a little while. But it's good that he's got like the flowers coming to him now because like for such a long time during that like kind of darker period, he was such like a rah company man, like putting it out there. I don't know if anyone remembers him having like the little Twitter back and forth with Ospreay, when Will Ospreay was like calling him out,
yes.
just being like, "This shit's whack," and he's like, "You're whack, Will." It's like, you're gonna lose this every time, bro, because Ospreay can just do whatever he wants as like a wrestling independent, and you are a independent contractor who's, you know, you can't speak your mind or you're dead.
Yeah.
So it's cool that like he's getting through it, and it's, I mean, you know, he's a first ballot Hall of Famer. The guy he's great, and he's had.
It's not like he was sitting on the sidelines.
Exactly. He's had such a roller coaster of a career. Like,
here we go.
So he went from the friggin' Shield to, oh my God,
Jesus. There we go.
Timmy, I love you.
TK,
I also hate you.
There you go. This is for you, TK. Banger after banger after banger after banger.
That shit.
Yeah, again, he wasn't sitting the sidelines. He wasn't on the bench. He wasn't giving, you know, the, so to say, number one starter his, you know, Gatorade and, you know, helping him out that way. Right. He was killing it, but it's so cool to see the WWE in the place that we wanted to see, you know, see it, you know, Seth as champion, Roman as champion, KO, your boy, and Sammy as champion. I mean, Gunther, I mean, the champions are champions. I think that's what we need to see here, understand here is legitimate superstars. I hate saying that word. The legitimate wrestlers are champions. It's believable. You know, you get it. And that's the same thing with the women's division from US, like Theory. That's believable. Mm-hmm. Everybody that is champion is champion. It's not like there's a Miz. As much as, you know, we love what he's done for the business. He's never gotten hurt in his life, blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, Seth is champion. Roman is champion. It's just, these are the champions you want, and I think this is why the WWE is doing so well. Again, we don't know the numbers on Peacock, but every fucking pay-per-view, it's doing better and better and better. Survivor Series beat out 1989, you know? The Rumble beat out 92. It's just like, well, we don't know that. But I guess, you know, they sold to Justin, help me out, Endeavor. Endeavor, and it's been up, you know? Yeah. Stocks are up for WWE. And it's just, at the end of the day, it's cool to see legitimate superstars, legitimate wrestlers as your champions, because you can believe that. Keith, what do you got? Sure. I know you were trying to say something.
No, I mean, it's you nailed it all there. And I think it's like the only, like, I hate to even call it like a negative, because it's not a negative. But it's like the only like downside, I guess, that's even negative. But like,
my man,
Rollins is like such. He's a prime example of their whole mentality of just like of the old Vince McMahon mentality of like, I can only guarantee opportunities. I don't guarantee anything, but I'll give you an opportunity.
Yeah.
To grab that brass ring. Everything he said that Cesaro didn't do and everything. See, it is like 99 times out of 100, but then there's a Seth Rollins that proves that, because
good point.
Like, on the one hand, he did get the keys kind of handed to him. He's the first NXT champion. He debuted on the main roster in the friggin' Shield, which is going to go down in history as one of the best stables of all time.
Yeah.
He came out. He's the one who broke that up. He broke that up into a world title, which he held for a long time as like a really good heel and all this kind of stuff. And it's easy to sit there and like bullet point his career of all these major things. And like, it's also in that same vein, it's easy to forget that like he was part of that Hell in a Cell match that ended due to stoppage because Bray Wyatt had a fucking hammer. No, I take that back. Bray Wyatt had a big hammer. They were like, all good. He grabs a little hammer. They're like, whoa, no, too much. Like, okay, that was dumb. Also had to sit there when he was feuding with The Fiend and being like, nah, screaming on the ropes because there were strobe lights going off and stuff when The Fiend came after him. Like, he had some shit he had to shovel through too, but he shoveled the shit, kept with a smile on his face. He shoveled through all of it and came back up, and now here he is again now. He had to go through, you know, it's so funny because him and Becky are like married and have a kid and all, but like that little bit of time when like they were like together on screen so that they could have a mixed tag match with Baron Corbin and friggin' Lacey Evans was like some of the most cringy TV like ever.
Yeah.
For
but he
two people
did
that
it.
are married, in real life, like him and Becky had like zero chemistry
Yep.
on TV.
Yes.
And it was
Yeah.
so hard to watch. But
Yeah.
here we are now in 2023, and he's the world heavyweight champion, and he's moving brands and
Yeah.
doing everything. Like, it's good. Like, it gives them another feather to put into that of like, see, we offer opportunities. He had a bunch of crap. He had other opportunities though, and he ran with it. And he did. And like, you can't take that away from him. It just sucks that like they have that feather to put in now to justify things like dropping Cesaro when, you know, granted, he's not burning the world down right now in AEW either, but
yeah. And I think the other cool part to this is the Braun Breaker aspect.
Yes.
I mean, what are we doing? We're bringing him up. I mean, he's still having matches with Seth Rollins. I just feel like this might be, he's on his way out here. And I guess this might be the big test. Can he put up? Because I've said it in the past streams. I don't think he's ready, but I think he has the look. I think he has the name. I think he can get as far as he can to, I don't want to say succeed, but maybe be that mid-card guy.
Mm-hmm.
And that's okay. That's fine with the WWE if you're the mid-card guy. That's like the top company as, the mid-card guy, and that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't know what you do. Do you throw him into the mix? Because he's not believable against Gunther. He's not believable, in my opinion, against Theory. So is he just waiting for that opening? I mean, what do you do?
I think Breaker's an interesting one right now. Because, like, I worry... I have a worry that he could fall really bad into the Karrion Kross territory.
Yeah.
Where, like, in NXT, he's presented as this, like, world beater, this big, bad final boss man. I would love that, man.
Yeah. Dirty Dan with the dirty news.
I don't love, there's a lot of rumors going on that Dragunov is going to join Imperium, and I don't want that because Gunther Dragunov from the pandemic time for the NXT UK title is, like, one of my favorite matches of all time. Like, I want him to come up and just put that feud back on TV for a little while. Don't have him in Imperium yet. Maybe later on, like maybe they beat respect into each other and they get in there, and that's fine. Yeah. We can talk about that when that happens. But first, let him come up and let's show the rest of the world who didn't watch NXT UK that these two are just hard bastards.
The guys.
Yeah. But anyway, back to Braun. He's presented as such this like big bad world beater, and he has been from the time he showed up in NXT 2.0 at the time. But he's kind of like Cross was, but also in the same way that Cross was, he's kind of like he doesn't have like the biggest or like craziest move set. Like, yeah, he'll pull a really impressive spear out of nowhere, like once in a while, and it's awesome to see. But like, that gets tired quick. If like that's your big thing you're hanging off on, tiresome. That gets tiresome. Also, like, I hate to be like the Vince man of like, oh, big good, small bad, because I don't really think that way. But like, there's not really a ton of like people I could see, I guess, on the main roster of him like pulling his finisher off unbelievably, like the gorilla press into the power slam. I think like he's not doing that to Tim's favorite wrestler, Omos. Like, no chance. He's not going to do that to Roman. You know. They might let him pull it off on like maybe a Lashley,
babe.
Maybe, I don't know. Maybe a Lashley. I don't know. That's all right. Yeah. He might pull it off on like maybe a Lashley, but like none of the bigger guys are getting that done to him. I'm not seeing him doing that to Gunther.
Yeah. And I think that's the same thing with Tyler Bate too. She's not big enough. As much as he's my, top 5.
Yeah.
It's like, what are we doing, man? I mean, he's in this thing with Chase, and now he's doing this, and it's just like, I mean, come on.
Yeah. Bates a little bit of a different one, though, because he's got a lot. Like, with Braun, it's more just like all he has is his presentation at NXT and being the champ so soon from being, like, brought in, Whereas, like, Bate has the history, at least, of, like, if they're going to talk, if they are willing to talk about no people, like they beat the Undisputed, him and Trent Seven beat Undisputed Era for the NXT tag titles, like ended that big reign they had. No, he didn't beat Gunther. He was the last NXT UK champion before it got merged with the NXT championship.
Yeah.
He was the first NXT UK. He was the first and the last. He's the lineage of that title, the first, he's the beginning and the end of it, so like, did he do it to Gunther? I don't like that. Yeah. That's annoying. Anyway, but like, you know, so like Bate has like some more stuff behind him. They can like build a little bit more character off. I mean, yeah, he's a smaller dude, but like I want to see Bate in theory. They probably have done it before, but like let's run that back again.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I would love to see Tyler Bate and Montez Ford. You know, like there's enough smaller dudes. Like with him, he's in a smaller point that like being smaller with enough smaller people around him that it would like he has things that I would want to watch and be interested in.
Yeah.
Braun he's big. He's kind of limited in his moveset. He's very Goldberg, very Karrion Kross, where it's like, yeah, he can come into a lot of fanfare here at first and like be a big deal for a couple months, but then, you know, you got to give me something more. And he's athletic as shit. He might be able to turn it around. I could see him hitting a moonsault. Absolutely. Or pulling the old, you know, Brock's shooting star out of nowhere at a WrestleMania, maybe not breaking his neck this time, but like, until he's got that stuff, he should kind of hang out in NXT.
Yeah.
Which is, you know, going back to Justin's point he brought up here earlier of, you know, he's challenging this week. And it's like, it's weird that like my only downside with the heavyweight title is that they're like, oh, it's Raw exclusive. It's like, okay, so Rollins is coming down to NXT with this title. They're not taking that title off him yet because he just got it. So he's not losing it. So he's going to win this match because it could be cool. It could be a cool thing if you postpone this, or you make this one a little bit of shenanigans and whatever else, and you keep postponing this, and then this is how Braun gets called up. I'm into that. Yeah. You know, like Seth gets not cheating, but Seth gets like a sneaky win this week. Yeah. And then Braun is just like enraged and he goes on for like weeks and weeks just rampaging on NXT until they're finally just like, because I'm pretty sure he was, unless I'm wrong, I'm pretty sure he was a free agent in the draft recently, which matters so much. So they'll be like, you're a free agent. You're pissing us off here. Go. Get out. Go to Raw. Go fight him. And then that's how he gets called up. And with his raging or whatever, Adam Pearce loves his spirit and he gets signed to Raw. Cool. Yeah. Awesome. I'm for that. But it is a weird thing without any of that built in, and with it just being a thing that happens this week, like out of nowhere, it's just like, okay, so this match this week is either DQ or it's ending with Rollins winning. There's no outcome where Braun wins the title this week because they're not taking it off Rollins, and Braun, for all intents and purposes, is still in NXT. So like,
but I guess the thing I'm seeing here too is Braun doesn't necessarily have to prove anything. So I guess this is just to boost the ratings. Like, right? Like, we know he's coming up. As much as I said I don't think he's ready, I think it's time, for him to be called up. And then you have this match, and it's like, well,
oh man, always got our back.
Is he doing this for ratings, Rollins, or is this? You don't have to see anything else out of Braun, right? Like, there's no reason to say, we got to give you a big matchup. Let's bring in Seth. I think we've seen it with Ziggs. I think we've seen it with the countless the countless main roster guys that went down to NXT to go one-on-one with Braun. But I don't know. It's cool, but it's like, what are we doing? Is this for ratings,
I mean, you could make the argument, maybe this is what it's for, if like they're trying to like build him up against some of those names down there before they officially bring him up. Which I guess is fine. I don't know. I think it all just comes back to anything we're talking about here with him. I think it just all comes back to the main point we just said before, is that I don't really know that he's ready to be up there,
Well, Cage brings up a good point. He can afford, obviously. Yeah, I mean,
see, and I get that, and I don't disagree with that, but I feel like that's something that with Triple H at the helm now again, though, he's gonna try to like start making that stuff matter more again. Like, I think that's a big reason why you have Gunther closing in on eclipsing the Honky Tonk Man's reign as IC champion. It's why you have Theory. It's why you have Rollins. It's why you have Sammy and Kevin. Like these guys that, granted, Sammy and Kevin are a little bit different because they're just fucking legends in their own rights. But I think he wants to like try to have it just be like, well, yeah, this is our developmental, but we're bringing him up. Although, I don't know, maybe that's just a nice thought I'm having, because I did also see something earlier this week of like, they're talking about keeping NXT considered a separate brand from the main roster, even though it's developmental and like, but they flip flop on that nonsense all the time because Triple H was like, oh, AEW beat our developmental. And then like a week later was like, well, wait, maybe they're not our developmental. And then he's like, oh no, they are. So like, it's all politics, man.
Yeah. Well, let's get to it. Let's get to the next I don't want to say topic. The next thing we're going to talk about, because there's no topics here. Yeah. Let's do it. RKO! Yes, sir. Justin brought it up.
Yeah.
You texted we discussed it.
Yeah, man. It's just more of just
challenges.
How we need Justin on here, and we're just the same person.
Yeah.
It's kind of like I'm with this almost the same. No, I'm not the same as the Punk situation.
Almost.
The whole rant there, almost. Yeah, right. Just open challenges. Like, are they like losing their meaning because they're everywhere now? You know, like it's
yeah.
Like back when Cena was doing it with the US title, it was like, who's going to show up?
Yeah.
What's it going to be? And all this kind of stuff. And it was really cool. And it was like exciting. And now it's just like, you know, between AEW and WWE, like, it's just like, it's like all the time. Like, I feel like it feels like it's like a lazy writing thing to me. I think like, it's like they knew they wanted to have the world heavyweight title to have it like a secondary thing because Roman's not there all the time, which is fine.
Yeah. But
then like they have it now and they're just like, well, how do we keep it on TV? And it's like, oh, well, Seth can do open challenges. Like, well, just give him a feud. If he's a champion, give him a feud. It shouldn't need to be an open challenge. There should be people that are lined up for it. Or freaking Charlotte Flair to come walking out and being like, I am the line. Bitch. I fucking hated that. We won't get into that tonight. But that, Jesus Christ. But that's my point. I'm glad there isn't somebody like that in the men's roster. But, like, it's the world title. Like, why isn't AJ still going after it? Like, cool, man. I respect you. We had a great match. I still want that belt. So, like, still going to fight you. You know, or...
Yeah.
So, I get that also. Danny boy, you know.
Yeah. Danny boy.
And that's fine, but I think it's like, I don't know. To me, I think in this particular case, because it's a world title, like quality over quantity.
Yeah.
You know, open challenge for like the US title with Cena. Sure, it's John Cena. He's going to pop a rating because he's on TV all the time. Then awesome. Use that as a way to show the NXT champion come up and you know, go into a feud with him while he's still the NXT champion. With KO stomping on the US title as he held up the NXT title. Fuck yeah. You know, give me those kind of things for a mid-card title like that. But it's like, if this is supposed to be a world championship and not just another mid-card title.
Yeah. What are we
Give
doing?
me some longevity. Give me something good in it. Where's Lashley? Have Lashley come out after him. You know, they were never like settled from when they were fucking around with the US title stuff with Theory. I don't even know where Lashley's been. Granted, I haven't been paying attention every single week, so I'm probably wrong. But fucking hey, we're like, have Lashley come out and just be like, dude, I used to beat your ass when we were going after the US title. There ain't no reason I can't beat your ass now to take that and be the dominant champion that I deserve to be. Boom. Let's go. Let's run that one back. Rather than it being, you know, we're looking out this week where the open challenge is going to be cool because he's going down to NXT and he's going to face Braun. Sure, I'm into seeing that match. But, I mean, what are we getting next week? Him and Cedric Alexander? I'm excited to see that match. It'll be good, but come on, man. We can all believe what we want to believe, but Cedric Alexander's not winning that friggin' title.
Yeah.
You know, and no one's going to believe that he's going to. It'll be a great match, but, like...
Well, maybe that's where the issue lies. I mean, maybe that's why Seth is going down to NXT. Because similar to Roman, they don't have competitors. I mean... Yeah, we got AJ. Yeah, we're building to Finn, I think. As much as I want to see, you know, him face other mid-carders, I think there's, you know, let's be honest. I can't believe that anyone on the roster right now will beat Seth Rollins. I can't believe that. So, you know, as much as we want someone like your boy KO or somebody like that, you know, maybe he's just doing his rounds, you know?
Right.
I don't know. Maybe he's the people's champion. If you smell. No. I don't know. But it's really cool to see that aspect of Seth Rollins. But back to the open challenges. Yeah, I'm with you because, again, we'll go back to the U.S. Championship open challenges just because I think that was so special. It was a pop, you know? You were anticipating, oh my God, Sammy, oh my God, KO. Like, now it's just like, okay, it's got to be someone on the main roster because it's a Dynamite on Wednesday and who they're going to bring in, you know? Or just like, you know, it's a Monday night. Well, it doesn't make sense to have someone big come in like a free agent. So it's someone in the main roster. Nikki Cross, are you ready? You're the next open challenge. It's just like, is that really an open challenge? Like, as much as it is open and anyone can walk on out, it's just like, we want something different. So I get what you're saying. It's just like same old shit, you know?
It's more, I think it's more like maybe just the way that like they're handling this one. Cause like, even though like we're stoked for, or I'm, you know, me and Justin at the very least, like I'm stoked for Seth Braun for sure next week. But like Justin had kind of said a little while back here, they announced the open challenge for next week on Raw. So like Rollins announced it rather than have Braun call him out on NXT and like, you come here. Like,
go to the main roster.
Do what Cena did. Do what KO did. You know, have Seth
it made Sammy's
I told
career.
you all exactly.
Yeah.
Like I told you all it's an open challenge, so here I am. Who's coming to step up for it? And then, you know, and here he comes, and
That
it's
was
like
pretty good.
Because then you get that moment too of it's it's Corey and what's his face on Raw, right?
Corey and
Kevin Patrick.
Yeah.
So that you get Kevin just being like, "Oh my God, Corey, do you know who this is? It's fucking Ron Brand." That was a bad Irish accent, but you know what I mean? Like you make a big deal out of him, then just being like, "This is the most dominant champion from NXT stepping up now to it. This is huge. Can't believe this." Blah, 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 blah. Awesome. Now I'm more interested in Braun as a person. If I'm a person who doesn't watch NXT, I'm a lot more interested in whoever the hell this guy is and what he has to say and what he did.
Yeah.
You know, rather than it just being like, because now it's even a thing where it's like, if they are keeping these like separate worlds, it's like, okay, cool. Braun called him out on NXT. Seth accepted on NXT. Awesome. But then if I don't watch NXT, you're going to come back to Raw next week and like Seth Rollins is going to be like, yeah, the hell of a fight against Braun Breaker. And they'll be like, who? When?
Yeah.
What? Like, no, what the hell? What are you talking about? I didn't care about that at all.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it is what it is at the end of the day. It's good for the business. It's definitely good to have your champion, your main roster champion on the A show going one-on-one with Braun Breaker. I like it. You know, it is what it is. We're going to watch it.
Yeah.
That's not the issue. It's just like, of course, we're podcasters, so we're going to look into it. Why is he doing this? Is this for ratings? Is this for something else? Is this just to get Braun over? Is this to see how Braun is going to do with a main roster guy? So let's throw him, you know, the world champion. It's fun to talk about. We don't know.
I think it's just like I said, like it comes back to the whole point to begin with of it's just like, because if you're pushing this new world heavyweight title as a world championship, exactly. Took the words out of my mouth. Thank you.
Yes.
Like if it's a world championship, it shouldn't be open challenges. Open challenges are fine for your TNT, your TBS, your
point.
your US, your Intercontinental, those mid-card titles that are like they're mid-cards. It's supposed to be like trying to build to this thing. But if you're a world champion, you got to earn world championship spots unless you're Charlotte Flair, in which case you can come back after 4 months and just say, I want a title shot. Yeah. So like, you know, like I said, quality over quantity. You know, give me a built-up feud. Give me a reason to care about a big match coming up, rather than this is my world title, so I'm going to take on this person who people might not even really know from NXT, without the build-up for it, like Cena did with the US stuff. So
yeah. Well, buddy, programming note, WrestleBread, right here on the Bloodline Entertainment Network exclusively at 9:00. So that gives us 5 more minutes. Keith, excuse me. Let's get to the last topic. Here we go. Yes, Keith, you sent screenshot.
Yeah.
Let's see the what ifs.
It was a thing. One of those suggested for you things popped on my Facebook from Pro Wrestling Network. I don't know who they are. But it's what are some of the biggest what ifs in pro wrestling in your opinion? They mention, you know, there's your Magnum TA in the car wreck and ruining his career, Flair having the plane crash, the exodus from All Japan, or Vince maybe even being found guilty in the steroid trial, all that kind of stuff. But then he brings up some more kind of modern ones that I thought were really cool. What if Owen didn't die? What if Owen didn't die? How did the rest of his career go? That's the first one he said. That to me was one of the most interesting ones.
Let's skip that one.
these next two I wanted to kind of skip to, but he says, does Marty Scurll bridge the issues between Ring of Honor management and AEW? How far would he be able to take the NWA as world champion? He's not the biggest name to really talk about right now. Still with stuff, so we're going to leave that one. This guy is definitely not, but Velveteen Dream was a guaranteed main eventer if he hit the main roster. I don't disagree with that fact, but
yeah,
fuck that guy still.
Yep, he's a douche.
Here, this is a good one because we were just talking about him anyway. What if Finn Balor never got injured?
I was there. Yeah.
So he said specifically, I feel like Triple H still turns on Rollins, but then what happens to Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho and the Jericho stuff? Yeah. That's a really interesting kind of thing. Like, I mean, clearly they wanted Finn. Like, it's crazy to think where, like, how that would have all gone if Finn had just been able to, like, take it and, like, talk about a fucking call up. You know, you come up and win a new world title immediately.
Yeah. And that's a big deal, you know?
Yeah.
The Universal.
He deserved it. Like, he earned the shit out of that, man.
But that's a good one, man. If he never got injured, because, again, we'll go back to, you know, Vince, big guys. Oh, I love him. He's not a big guy. But he was giving the was given the opportunity for the new title. I mean, that's a big deal. As much as we say, oh, my God, they're making a new title. I mean, we said that with Seth. Obviously, you know, Seth won it, and, you know, we're okay with that. And that's similar to Finn, and I think they're playing off of this as well. That might be the next match. Yeah, that's a good question. I honestly don't know what would happen. I mean, I don't think anything differently would have happened with his career. As much as the injury is a big part of why he is where he is, I don't know. I just don't see him as the guy. I don't see him as a Seth. I don't see him as a Roman. I don't even see him as like a Gunther. But then again, Gunther's making the title. The title's not making Gunther. So maybe Finn would have done something with that, similar to The Miz when we had the white strap. I don't know. It's a good question because he's a fan favorite. I mean, who doesn't love Finn? Heel or face, it doesn't matter. I mean, what do you think?
I think my thing when I read this, the first thing that popped in my head, because he's not a big guy, but he's cut. He's cut as fuck. So I think Vince would have gone for him and let him ride for
That's a good one, bro.
But oh hell yeah. That's like, dude, Tom, that's like a whole episode we could talk about. This is a huge one too, Dan. I love that. I'm glad they didn't. Not being the biggest New Japan mark in the world, I don't watch it all that often, but like the stuff you see of both of them, I'm really glad neither one of them did because Kota, I feel like if Kota would have signed a contract to be in the WWE, he wouldn't have lasted that long because they would have fired him, being like, you're concussing yourself and people left and right too much, so you got to go. With the Finn stuff, though, I think my biggest worry out of it, because like with him being as like cut as he is, Vince would have been okay with that. He's not the biggest guy. Yeah. He looks the part.
And he's put in the work too.
If he would have had it the way Pro Wrestling Network here mentioned, I don't know that KO would have gotten that like bit of shine that he did with him and Jericho and the Jericho and getting the Universal title and all that kind of stuff.
That's a good point.
For that same body reason. I love him to death, and I have no room to talk about it, but Kev's kind of fat. He's the fucking man, and he flies. Oh, yeah. And that is not meant to be like body shaming or anything else at all. Don't clip that and send it to him. I don't want him to be mad at me because I love him to death. Kevin Owens is possibly the best wrestler on the planet, in my opinion. Over Kenny and everybody else, and that's all whatever. That's a whole different discussion for a different day. But he's, by traditional wrestling standards and stuff, he's a big dude. And not Hogan steroid big. He's just big. And especially at that time, he was bigger then than he is now. He wasn't like, he's like a little, I feel like he's a little more in shape and stuff now.
Yeah.
And like, at that time, I feel like Vince would have just been like, well, shut up, Hunter. Like, look at my world champion. I don't care about this guy and what he's going to do with Jericho. Look at my Universal champion right now with his, you know, his six pack that you could fucking make ice cubes in because it's so chiseled.
Yeah.
You know, like the guy's ripped and he, you know, and it's, like,
it's a great point
for the things that would have come after it. I feel like Finn could have taken it and carried it for a minute and been higher even up than he is now. But the other things, that ripple of stuff around him, I don't know that KO would have got him, but you know.
Yeah, that's a good point too. I mean, I was just focusing on Finn, like what would his career be, but you brought up Big Show and KO. I mean, you just don't know. It's not just because, just because Finn got hurt doesn't mean, his career is going in a different way. It just, that lines up everybody. I mean, we hear it all the time. I don't know if it's still true to this day, but they have WrestleMania planned out for next year. Like, that's how far they go into the storyline. I don't know, just because we hear it all the time. Vince just ripped up the script again, blah, blah, blah.
Subject to change.
Yeah. But, we got anything else? I mean, we got a couple minutes left before WrestleBread is on. Actually, 5 minutes, or not even 5 minutes. Let's get it. What do you got?
All right, we'll do this last one here because I thought this one was pretty interesting too. If Shawn Michaels never injures his back during the casket match, does he stay with WWE after losing to Austin? Does DX ever get bigger? Does Shawn ever get clean, or does he just politic his way back on top?
Yeah.
The rest of that's all kind of whatever nonsense. But the big one is if Shawn never injures his back and gets all fucked up in the casket match, how does that go?
Yeah.
Because that would have been. Oh.
Yeah, I think it's there too. I think you said two things. I think you said if he got hurt and then the whole drug thing, I think getting hurt led to the drug thing. And I think I don't know. I mean, I you would think some of the superstars in WWE did well on drugs. I don't know, but at the end of the day, you want to be clean. And I just don't know what would happen. Be quick, brother. Let's get it.
Yeah, I don't even really have too much to say on it because it's such a crazy thing to think about. I think if he didn't get hurt in the casket match, it could have changed everything. DX would have stayed. He would have stayed in DX. I feel like he could have possibly been one of those like died too soon stories we're talking about.
Yeah.
I mean, I know the back thing has kind of led to more of the drugs that he was into and stuff, but like they were already all the click drug and alcohol and shit stories are like legendary already before all of that. So like, I don't know. It's just interesting to think if he never would have left and lost his smile and went away and came back as Commissioner Michaels and everything. And
oh my God,
then whatever it was years later comes back. Like it's interesting to think like, what he could have done. I mean, Danny brought up, I mean, what if even if it was Eddie didn't pass away, what if Eddie came over earlier and we got to see Eddie and Shawn Eddie and Shawn. Yeah. Or, I mean, any of the Radicals really before before they got shit on. I would have loved to see Shawn and like Malenko or Shawn and Benoit before all that everything before they did. I'm pretty sure Shawn and Benoit fought anyway, but
Keith, what a great episode.
Oh yeah.
You got 3 minutes. Go take a shit. Go take a piss. Go grab a beer from the fridge. Go get grab a snack from the closet. You got WrestleBread coming up in 3 minutes. We want to say thank you for tuning in. Thank you so much. Keith, what do we got, man? We got Broadcast coming back. Another watch along next week. Maybe at the end of the month. I do not know. I forget, but Tom will tell you. But the Bloodline Entertainment Network, we're here since day one-ish. Find them on bloodlinenetwork.com, Twitter, the Bloodline ENT, Insta, the same thing. And then obviously us, TheUWPod.com, Twitter, the UWPod, Insta, UW Podcast. Yeah, Keith.
Yeah.
Where can the people find you? Give them what they want.
I am on Twitter at Keith of the Ring. I'm on Instagram at _Keith of the Ring. Way more active on Twitter than Instagram, but look for my shitty hot takes there.
Yes, sir. Let's do it, baby. Have a good night. WrestleBread is in 2 minutes. Peace.
Yeah, baby. And here it comes. Thank you for listening to another edition of the Universal Wrestling Podcast.
Slice that blood up and say!
Check us out on the web at uwpod.com.
You've got mail.
Or send us an email. info@uwpod.com. Universal Wrestling Podcast.
Nobody does it better.